How's it going? Today I'm here with my WWE NXT TakeOver Toronto review. Of course, NXT TakeOver Toronto took place live tonight on the WWE Network. And overall, like I said, coming out of this show, another excellent show here by NXT. Just 2.5 hours of just very fun wrestling, enjoyable stuff. And I had a lot of fun with the show. You know, it's some nice twists and surprises as well. Had some great moments, and yeah, very fun wrestling show overall. And you know, another great takeover in the books. 2 thumbs up from me overall. So yeah, TakeOver Toronto. Really enjoyed the show. I'll kick things off with a Bobby Roode versus Ty Dillinger. Of course, Bobby Roode coming out to a glorious entrance with a chorus around the stage, singing an intro prior to his theme, which to me it was cool that they did an intro for. But once the theme actually kicked in, you didn't even hear a word they said, so it's kind of pointless for them to stay on the stage. But it is what it is. Glorious entrance by Bobby Roode. Him and Ty Dillinger, I thought, had a really good opening match here. Great back and forth action by both men. You know, great intensity from Ty Dillinger. You know, definitely showed a lot of his aggression in this match against Bobby Roode. Him and Bobby Roode had a really good beginning of their match. You know, going nice back and forth action between both men. Just pretty much brawling in the ring. I thought that was great. And then, of course, you know, Bobby Roode eventually cut Ty Dillinger off and, you know, worked the classic heel, you know, dominating the face match. You know, Bobby Roode just locking different, you know, submission holds, rest holds, and, you know, hitting neck breakers and stuff like that. So Bobby Roode took over and controlled most of the match. And of course, you know, Ty Dillinger would have his comeback. You know, a really rapid fire comeback on Bobby Roode. A lot of near falls as well. You know, Bobby Roode hit a really nice spine buster. Of course, Ty Dillinger was trying to attempt the tiebreaker. What the, I don't know what his finisher's called. I believe it's called a tiebreaker. I could be wrong. But he's trying to attempt that several times, but Bobby Roode was able to get out of it. There was some comedy in the beginning as well, you know, like this Ty Dillinger stomping on Bobby Roode's hand. So when Bobby Roode was like shaking his hands, it was doing like the 10-10-10 thing. So I thought it was very fun, you know. It was a pretty lengthy match, too, about 15 plus minutes or so, and I really enjoyed it. And, you know, Bobby Roode was able to pick up the win after throwing Ty Dillinger into the post, followed by the DDT for the 1-2-3. So Bobby Roode gets the win. After the match, you know, Ty Dillinger was pretty upset. You can tell it was one of those, like, not necessarily a farewell thing, but it was like the farewell vibe where, you know, the faces in the ring all sad, you know, the crowd's cheering him on, and he does like the, not really walk of shame, but, you know, just disappointing walking, you know, he's disappointed walking away. So I thought that was a cool little moment too for him. But yeah, very fun opener between Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger. From there on, we go to the finals of the 2016 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Of course, the Authors of Pain taking on TM61 with Paul Ellering suspended above the ring in a shark cage. First time we've seen that in a while, so that was pretty cool to see that. The match itself is good. I enjoyed it. I thought both teams definitely shined, especially TM61. Shane Thorne's is really, really good. He actually did a swanton off the crane that they had on the side of the ring for the shark cage. He actually climbed up and did a swanton, which actually looked pretty good. He actually took a pretty nasty bump as well. Sorry for stumbling upon my words. When I get really excited, I'm just very pleased with what I just saw. I just kind of can't contain my excitement. So excuse me if I'm just stumbling and stuttering a lot in this video. It's just I'm pretty anxious to talk about this show. But yeah, Shane Thorne took a pretty vicious spot on the apron when one of the Authors of Pain just whipped his legs, and Shane Thorne just inside out, landing right on his shoulder. So that looked pretty painful. Nick Miller looked good too. You know, he showcased some strength in this match, which actually looked pretty good. And Authors of Pain, you know, they looked good. So I thought it was a win-win overall because, you know, the purpose of this match, I thought, with both teams being who they were, that, you know, the purpose of this match pretty much was to showcase both teams and what they can do. And I thought they did that here. So it was a good, solid match. Was it like Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic worthy, or finals worthy, I should say? Not necessarily, but it was still a pretty solid match overall. And the ending was kind of weak, though. You know, Authors of Pain just won with their finisher like it was nothing. Excuse me. So the finish is kind of weak, but it is what it is. And of course, after the match, they did the whole, you know, crowning of them. They gave them the trophy and everything. And Goldust was there, and, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that they couldn't get Cody to come in for that, but it is what it is. But yeah, it was a good, solid match. Good showcase for both tag teams there. And then from there on, we go to personally what I think is match of the night. 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Tag Team Championship, The Revival versus DIY. This match was just incredibly awesome. Words can't describe how great this match was. This is definitely one of those matches where you have to go out of your way to see them. I thought their match at TakeOver Brooklyn 2 was great. This match is just as good as that one in my opinion. Just the storytelling and just the tag team tactics from both teams. God, those two teams are probably the best tag teams in WWE right now. The Revival is just so good, and so is DIY. You know, Gargano and Ciampa are just so awesome. And they told an excellent story. You had some great selling by both teams. Just incredible tag team match here. Like I said, words can't describe how great this match was. You have to go out of your way to see it because it's truly a masterpiece. It's, you know, arguably match of the year for NXT, or at least a contender for match of the year. It's that goddamn good. But the Revival, you know, they got their first pinfall very early on the match with the first 5 minutes. The Revival was able to counter Johnny Gargano's slingshot spear. I think Dawson caught him and was able to throw him up to the Shatter Machine to dash. So the Revival got the first pinfall fairly early on in the match. And then, of course, you know, Gargano and Ciampa had their comeback when once Gargano got the tag to Ciampa. Ciampa was going, you know, just hot fire on everyone. You know, he hit 3 German suplexes on Dawson, followed by a running knee, which looked pretty damn vicious. But Dawson was able to keep out of it. Just great action here. And then, of course, you know, DIY was actually able to get the second fall once the referee was handling Dash, and Gargano and Ciampa were able to do their finishing tag team, their tag team finisher, which was, of course, the running knee followed by a super kick at the same time to Dawson for the 1-2-3. So it's now tied 1-1 with the near falls. And the storytelling just got even better. You know, the sequence where Dawson had Johnny Gargano working on his leg. You know, Dawson, by the way, or not Dawson, Dash probably gave Johnny Gargano the most vicious chop block I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, Gargano flew halfway across the ring, and his leg looked like he got absolutely destroyed. Just an awesome chop block there by Dash. But they worked on Gargano's leg, which led to Dawson locking in the inverted figure 4, which was a maneuver that they won with in Brooklyn. So they did the storytelling where Gargano was just trying not to tap so hard, and eventually got to the ropes. And, you know, the Revival almost retained, and, you know, Ciampa was able to save Gargano. Just fantastic storytelling, especially the ending, of course. You know, Gargano was able to get... before we get to the ending, sorry. I love the spot where Dash threw one of the tag team titles in the ring to Dawson, and when Gargano did his... the maneuver where he turns him inside out and, you know, follows through with a kick. Goes to do that, but Dawson puts the title up, so Gargano kicks the title instead. Thought that was just a great little thing right there by the Revival. But yeah, ending comes with, you know, Gargano locking in the Gargano escape on Dash, and then Ciampa blocking Dawson and actually locking him into the armbar. So dual submission holds, and then Dash and Dawson both tap at the same exact time. So DIY is your brand new NXT Tag Team Champions. Couldn't be more excited for them. Gargano and Ciampa are definitely two guys that deserve it, and I'm very excited to see how they go with their tag team run. Like, I think they'll do awesome, and they're just a very fun tag team. Like I said, you know, them and the Revival are the two best tag teams in WWE, and I'm just very excited that they got their moment to become tag team champions. So very happy for Gargano and Ciampa. Like I said, match of the night and definitely match of the year contender. From there on, we go to the NXT Women's Championship match. Asuka versus the returning Mickie James. Mickie James actually looking incredible. She's always looked incredible, but she definitely, you know, she wore some of her old attire too that she wore in WWE. So that was cool to see that. And the match itself is really good. You know, I thought Mickie James probably been the best threat to Asuka. You know, definitely different dynamic where, you know, Mickie wasn't afraid of Asuka at all, and Asuka actually ran from Mickie in this match. So it was definitely a different dynamic than what you got from the previous Asuka matches. And Mickie James dominated, you know, portions of the match, playing mind games with Asuka, and, you know, Asuka trying to play those games exactly back to her. You know, trying to play mind games and trying to get in her head and trying to do, you know, just try and throw Mickie off her game. But, you know, Mickie definitely looked great in this match, like I said, and Asuka, like I said, she had her challenge up to, you know, had her challenge put up to her. You know, Mickie didn't go without a fight, and I thought the wrestling overall was pretty damn good. You know, they told a pretty nice story, I thought. Mickie looked a little rusty. You know, there was a few mid kicks she tried to throw that looked pretty bad, but she actually connected with a really good one at the end of the match. So I'll give her credit for that. But, yeah, you know, Asuka was able to actually catch the mid kick into a German suplex on the outside, which looked pretty damn nasty. But I thought both women overall put on a really good match here. You know, this wasn't like a classic match that you'd think they'd probably be able to have. But I still thought it was really good. You know, one of the best matches of the night, in my opinion. And a great showing for Mickie James and a dominant win for Asuka. Of course, Asuka locking the Asuka lock, or trying to multiple times, and Mickie James fighting out of it. And then eventually she was able to lock it in. Mickie James just kind of tapped out of nowhere, which I thought the ending was kind of anticlimactic, but not to take away from the match. So I still thought it was a really good match, and just a great showing for Mickie James, and hopefully we can get more of her, whether it's NXT or on the main roster. Hopefully we can see more of her soon in WWE. So really good match and really good homecoming for Mickie James as well. And then, of course, we go to our main event, which was the NXT Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe. Nakamura's entrance, first and foremost, would have been absolutely incredible had you actually heard the violins. You just heard his theme song, you had all these violin players during his entrance, but you absolutely heard none of them. So, had you actually heard them, his entrance would have been absolutely fucking awesome. But it was still really, really cool, you know, not to take away from it. I thought him just being himself and the violinists were just great still, but just a little thing. Wish we were actually able to hear the violins play. Excuse me. But in terms of the match itself, I thought it was really good. You know, I thought it was actually better than their TakeOver Brooklyn match. I thought the storytelling was just better. I thought the match just flowed a lot better. You know, their match at Brooklyn kind of just fell flat. It didn't feel like the match they could have had, but I think they definitely kind of made up for it here. You know, pretty much the beginning of the match was just a huge brawl. You know, them brawling around the announce table, them just, you know, going, well, not around the announce table, just going around the outside where the announce table would have been, fighting around there and stuff like that. And, you know, of course, you know, Samoa Joe was working on the knee of Shinsuke Nakamura, the left knee, so I played a factor in the match. But it was good back and forth action. You know, it wasn't really a slower, it wasn't a slow match like their match was in Brooklyn. This was, you know, kept interest, and I thought it was good back and forth action. Even in portions where Samoa Joe was dominating Shinsuke Nakamura, Nakamura would be able to have that comeback and fight back against Joe, but Joe would actually quickly shut him back down by working on the knee. So I thought this match definitely progressed a lot better than their TakeOver Brooklyn match. So I enjoyed it a lot more. I thought it was a great match compared to their match at the last TakeOver in Brooklyn. So definitely enjoyed it a lot more. Nakamura was selling great. You know, Joe was playing a great, you know, heel. You know, just being really intense and just very hungry for that championship. Kicking out of the Kinshasa, sorry, from Nakamura, which looked really good. And Nakamura actually had another Kinshasa back ahead of Joe, which looked extremely fucking painful. And, you know, Joe was pretty much knocked out on the outside. Nakamura goes to the outside. Joe low blows him when the referee's not paying attention. Throws him onto the steel steps, which should have been a DQ, by the way. Throws Nakamura back in the ring, picks him up, hits the Muscle Buster for the 1, 2, 3. And Samoa Joe is your brand new NXT champion. I don't think anyone saw it coming. I definitely thought Nakamura was going to retain here. But, you know, Joe, honestly, in my opinion, should never lost the title to begin with. So I'm not going to necessarily say I'm mad about him winning the title back, but it was definitely a huge shock seeing him win it back. You know, I don't know why they even took it off him. They're just going to put it right back on him or what, but I don't know. I'm definitely interested to see where the future goes. I know people are assuming, oh, Nakamura's going to the main roster now. No, I think this could be, I think one of the reasons why they did this was probably for him to be in NXT longer, because that way he can go back on the chase, and, you know, they can have him chasing for a couple months before he gets the title back. So I think it just could be a tactic, honestly, where there's just, they keep both guys in NXT longer. I don't know what the exact long-term plan is for either guy, but just definitely a shocking ending to the match. Because like I said, I don't think anyone expected Nakamura to lose, so when he did, it was definitely a big deal. And the idiots in the production actually played Joe's old theme when he won too, which I thought was pretty hilarious. But yeah, great match. Like I said, better than the Brooklyn match. I thought the storytelling was better, and the match wasn't as slow as that one. The match actually progressed pretty good, and there really wasn't a domo in this match. Joe looked great, and Nakamura looked awesome as always. So it was a win-win. I enjoyed it. But yeah, that'll do this for the video, guys. Like I said, TakeOver Toronto. I thought it was a great show. Definitely enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun watching it. And yeah, 2 thumbs up from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please leave a like below. In the comment section, if you guys would like, please give your thoughts as well on TakeOver Toronto. If you guys like what you guys liked about it, what you didn't like about it. You know, pretty much anything TakeOver Toronto related, please feel free to leave your comments below in the comment section about it. And as always, until next video, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching the video.